turn to Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland, who's a member of the House Judiciary Committee who worked a lot on the sort of development of this case over in the House. Do you share your colleagues' feelings about the McConnell organizing resolution that Senator Van Hollen just talked about?
Yes, I do, Chris. They're perpetrating a fraud on the American people. I mean, we did the investigation leading to the articles of impeachment, which are, remember, like an indictment. And we had more than 100 hours of closed-door depositions. We had 30 hours of public testimony. We had 17 sworn witnesses, all of whom told different aspects or overlapping aspects of the exact same story, which was the president's shakedown of Ukraine to do his political dirty work. And they're supposed to have the trial. Their trial should be much longer than what we did. We just got enough evidence, overwhelming evidence of the president's culpability, but they're just trying to wave a wand and make the whole thing go away. And it is really a fraud on the American people. And really, at this point, we need the American public to rise up, to tell the Republican senators to do their job and to live up to their constitutional oaths of office, because this is more like something you'd find in Putin's Russia or in Duterte's Philippines.
So this question about the evidence, I thought this was interesting. So my understanding, and again, I'm not quite sure I have this 100% correct, so please correct me if I do, that the negotiated organizing resolution that was negotiated by Democrats, Republicans back during Clinton essentially just admitted the House record into evidence to begin as a kind of default step. And here it's just there's going to be a vote for it after the arguments start? Is that your understanding? And what's significant about that?
Well, that's what McConnell's calling for. But, I mean, understand the difference here. In the Clinton case, all of the witnesses had already testified, but Donald Trump has blockaded Bolton and Mulvaney and Blair and Duffy and so on. So those are people who should be called right now as a case of first impression, right, to get them to come forward. The comical thing is that all of the evidence indicts the president. There's not a shred of evidence that suggests that this is a case of mistaken identity or that the president has an alibi or whatever. He has the ability to send forth all of these eyewitnesses, and they won't do it, and yet they claim that there's not enough evidence. If there's not enough evidence, he's got the witnesses under his thumb.
Well, so today the president tweeted about that they didn't want John Bolton and others in the House, which I don't think is factual. They were in too much of a rush. Now they want all in the Senate. Not supposed to be that way. And then we've got this story from the Washington Post, which I thought was fascinating. Trump's lawyers, Senate GOP allies work privately to ensure Bolton does not testify publicly. And it goes through a whole bunch of game planning they're doing over there, including some truly astounding things like throw it into classified session if he does actually come forward. They seem very determined, all of them, to make sure John Bolton doesn't testify. What is your read on that?
Well, I think my read is what Tom Paine would say, which is everybody use their common sense. People who are innocent, whose conduct was perfect and absolutely perfect, would want all of the witnesses to come forward. This president is doing everything in his power to bury the evidence. They never turned over a single subpoenaed document, and he's doing whatever he can to gag all of the witnesses within his control. So we're looking at perhaps the guiltiest president that there's ever been. The question is whether we're going to stand up and defend our constitutional order, or we're going to let him get away with this. This president essentially has tried to pull the wool over America's eyes and then pull a curtain down over the executive branch and saying, we're not giving you anything. And that is a categorical obstruction of Congress. We cannot let presidents engage in corrupt and criminal activity all over the world to corrupt our elections, and then to deny Congress the ability to investigate and to deny the American people the truth about the character of their own president. It's totally antithetical to the constitutional design.
All right, Congressman Jamie Raskin, thank you for your time tonight.